Welcome, my friends, to the Don't Stifle Me podcast. And I am actually, if you're keeping up out there, I'm actually a day late putting this out there to you. But hey, I'm still on the road in Texas on this acoustic tour I've been on the last few weeks. And sometimes you just have to wait until you can find Wi-Fi and a good room to record in. So right now I'm sitting at a cousin's house in just outside of Beaumont, Texas, to bring you this episode. And this episode is a doozy. My name is Jacob Stifle. I'm a singer-songwriter, guitar player, and host of this podcast, and it is a pleasure to be here with you. I'm still out on this tour, like I said, in Texas, but this week I will be headed back east. I'll be in Muscle Shoals, Alabama this Friday, the 21st, for a lunchtime radio show at Champy's Chicken. And so if you're around that area, come out. If you want to check out the music, I've got some CDs on iTunes and Spotify and all those places that music is these days. And I've got merchandise and tour dates up at jacobstifle.com. All right. Now, I feel a little like Indiana Jones, and I'm leading you all into a temple of comical and musical doom filled with people opening beer bottles and eating chips and salsa in the background. So it's a little bit different. More people than I usually have on a podcast, but we'll check it out right now. Here's the episode.
Pick it up the piano.
It ain't dying I'm talking about, it's living.
On today's episode are some of my best Texas friends that I've known for years, the fellas that make up the band Copper Chief. Now, honestly, like I said earlier, this was probably way too many people to have together on one podcast trying to talk to each other while eating chips and salsa and drinking beer. But regardless of all that, we had a great time, and we even played some music for you at the end of the episode. So I hope you enjoy it. From my grandma's house in San Antonio, Texas, here's my hang with Copper Chief. So we're going to start on the left here with Rio, and introduce yourself, say where you're from, and then pass it on.
Hi, my name is Rio Tripiano, and I live in New Braunfels, Texas.
My name's John Jamel. Live in South Austin. Originally from Houston. Did a 12-year stint in Nebraska.
Fair enough.
Justin Lusk, bass player, Mineral Wells, Texas. Live in Buda now.
You feeling all right over there, Mike? Who's next? This is great. Yeah. All right.
Remember, 3 to 4 inches.
And I'm Mike Valier. I live in South Austin, Texas. Born and raised in Munster, Texas.
Like the cheese.
Like the cheese.
Munster. I like Munster cheese. Where's
Yeah.
Munster, Texas?
It's right on the Red River. If you take 35 straight up to Oklahoma, right before you go into Oklahoma, we're on the Texas side. We're the Border Patrol.
Nice. So is that in the quote unquote panhandle?
No, it wouldn't be in the Panhandle. North Central Texas.
Okay, I gotcha.
We're from the
Yeah,
red
35.
dirt
If you're going up
area.
35, I got you. You said you lived in Florida?
Oh yeah,
For a couple of years?
I moved to Austin to go to college at the University of Texas, Hook'em Horns, and then I got kind of tired of some things, had some personal life burnouts,
It happens.
and decided for a change of scenery and just moved down there for about 5 or 6 months. Then came back and resumed pursuing my undergraduate degree, and
Nice.
ended up playing my way through college and paying for tuition off of 6th Street.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's a way to do it.
No, that is not the way. That is one way to do it.
That is one way to do it. Great correction there, Rio. Rio,
wasn't easy.
When did you? So you moved to the Austin area. When was that then? 2010.
07.
07?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't keep up.
Been there 10 years.
Rio, when did you move to Austin?
The first time I moved to Austin,
Austin, New Braunfels area ish.
moved to Austin.
Yeah.
I moved to Austin for the first time in 20. What year is it? 27 to 20.
This is great. I wish I could see his face right now. He's thinking so
I
hard.
really am. 2010 ish. I moved up there and I made it about 4 months, and then I went back home. And
back home to where in Texas?
Richmond, Texas.
Richmond, Texas.
Yeah.
Where's Richmond, Texas?
Southwest of Houston, past the city before the sticks. Like
Gotcha.
in the country, but we don't do our cousins.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, Jacob's from Alabama. We're just delineating.
Hey.
Unnecessary shot.
Zing.
As you eat the chips and salsa that I purchased.
Poison.
Right?
I moved to Austin the first time, stayed there for about 4 months. I had to pawn my Les Paul and make payments from afar to get it back, and I finally did. And then I was in a band called The Washers, playing with them, and I was working on a ranch out in the middle of nowhere, which is actually a town called Rock Island, Texas, which is awesome. And then played Steamboat in 2013, which is awesome. Met Mike, met a whole bunch of people.
So y'all met, that's when y'all met, 2013?
Yeah. Good job
Were
on
y'all
the
the first two of these four that knew each other?
Actually,
Well,
I
both
knew
knew
Justin
him.
first.
You both knew bassist
Justin
Lusk
separately.
over there.
I met Justin in Poth, Texas.
Luscious
Back when he
Lusk.
was playing with Bree Bagwell.
Yeah, we were playing with
Get up in that thing.
Washers,
Get up in that thing.
Washers,
There
and
It was us,
some
y'all,
other guy that
Stuart Mann and the Statesboro Review.
they played.
Oh,
they
they were-
had two.
Back before they were just Statesboro Review. Scott Wiggins was there. And that's back when
right.
Miles was still playing drums for y'all and everything. His dad got up and sang AC/DC.
Oh yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
I made out with a redhead on the hill.
That was me.
No, she had prettier boobs than yours.
That's not true.
Little less of a beard. Little bit.
Very little less.
So when did you pick up the homeless, actually the least homeless looking of you, the drummer?
That's
over there?
right.
It's also the only one who owns a home.
This is also correct.
He's got money. You don't.
Yeah, it's some money. I keep it in a jar above the refrigerator. I like it. I'd want some more.
And here's his
That's
address.
where you guys come in. How did this go down, Mike? So we've all done the gigging thing. I guess you know the web that you weave with these musician types.
Did everybody pretty much start out doing cover band gigs and
I
stuff?
think-
Pretty much.
I think for the most part, you know. So that's what I was doing. I was with a guy named Trey Stapleton for a long time. He decided to take a little break, and then I gigged with a fella named Steve Hammond. And then he moved to Fort Worth, so it was just like I was picking up the last couple of gigs with Steve, and I was actually on the way back home to Austin from a Steve Hammond gig, and I get this Facebook message from Mike Valier, or rather maybe it's a call, but we had a mutual friend named Aaron Navarro, and I guess Mike was looking for a guy to do a duo Black Key style with, and he's like, hey, this is Mike Valier. I'm like, yeah, name sounds familiar. What's up, buddy? Well, you know, I got this duo thing I'd really like to do tonight. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, no, we could do that. When? You know, about an hour and a half. Can you make it?
Oh, it wasn't that because I was driving too on my way back.
now?
Well,
I had played Monroe, Louisiana the night
Well-
before,
well-
so I was hauling.
Yeah, well,
ass
put it
back.
this way. It wasn't like he was asking me the day before. This was the day
It
of
was
the gig.
it was about 5 or 6 hours out.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
sat.
that's such a huge difference there, Mike.
Yeah.
That makes it better.
5 or 6 hours allows time for at least a shower.
That's, yeah.
By Mike World, maybe, I don't know. So we get there, and I guess he totally misreads my personality. He thinks I'm being just the biggest dick in the entire world, and I'm thinking like this kind of humor we're gonna
I
have.
liked it,
But he
I
didn't know
wasn't
that-
sure
yeah.
if you were being funny or if you were just a genuine asshole. I was like, this guy's either really jaded or is really funny.
Both.
Yeah, and that's true. It can come off as both. But yeah, we sat. I think it was about a 3-hour gig at Shiner Saloon, and it was just pretty organic.
Played everything.
Oh, we killed it. Texas country, did some rock, a bunch of things
Yeah.
you didn't think I was going to be able to follow. So, I mean, it was through Mike, and I think we did a trio, added Rio at Shiners, and
Plus
that
Rio
went pretty
trio.
well. So they said, all right, we got a bassist. He's pretty solid. You know, we got this Blind Pig gig. We'd like you to come and sit in with us. I get there, I'm thinking, great, you know, you can get in the pocket with the bassist. That makes the
That
gig.
night we nicknamed you Train Beat.
Yeah.
We played Folsom Prison faster than it's ever been played
Yeah.
in its history of being
believe
played
that.
ever.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think we broke it. They sent us some kind of land speed record for it.
Nailed it down. I play one hell of a train beat. That's a fact.
Well, that's how it started.
Yeah.
I said, guys, wait till you hear him hold down a train.
And they pushed the
We
limits.
tried to
too.
break him.
Anyways, I got to be honest. though. We were playing that gig, and they're like, Justin, he's solid, man. You know, he's played with Bree Bagwell. The guy's just good. He knows. I'm like, great. All right. If I can follow him, awesome. Well, I think it might have been his birthday or something, but he was getting turned up, and I'm thinking to myself like, this guy kind of sucks.
And it was also only his like second actual gig with us.
But it wasn't for lack of talent. He was enjoying the celebration. But anyways, so
Sometimes you just have a good time.
it wasn't officially a thing until that Sunday, where they had their Sunday residency at Handlebar that I came up.
rooftop.
We played that rooftop 2-3 hour gig. And then they're like, okay, we're going to go out after this. And my girlfriend was with me. I'm like, okay, Angel, we got to go. We got to go impress these guys because I really want to be in the band. So we went over to Chugging Monkey, and we were turning it on. And and they kind of just all walk away. And there's a bunch of those three at the bar, and there's about a 5-6 foot space between myself, Angel, and those guys.
I still wasn't sure about him yet.
Exactly. So, and they're looking over at me, and one of them will look back. And they will look back over and talk amongst each other and look back. And then finally Mike walks up and he's like, well, here's the deal. We think we want you in the band. And then they presented me with shots, and I think that's how it started. Eventually, we consummated the deal with a guacamole handshake.
First band meeting, yeah. And I'm allergic to avocado, so that lets you know how big into it I was.
Did you? Oh,
Life on the line for this band.
Allergic to avocado?
Yeah.
You poor thing.
No, but I think my exact words is, well, guys, can we keep him?
Yeah, there you go.
So did you have the beard yet, or did they say you can be in it?
Yeah, we wouldn't have let him in without the beard.
I was about to say, was that the stipulation? Like, you can't be in the band unless you have a beard.
Pretty important.
Yeah. But it's been there for a while.
It's probably the thickest.
It is definitely the thickest.
We could say
It's
that
like
about
a couple
great many
Brillo
things,
pads
Michael.
glued to his cheeks.
Well, Copper Chief takes off at that point. Did you have a name yet, or you just like, okay, we're going to be in a band, what are we going to call it?
Lone Star Rejects.
That was my working title.
Can I get a word in edgewise? Why do you think I'm leaning towards the mic?
No, sir.
Yeah, when we started this whole new thing, we realized, hey, Lone Star Rejects has just never really been a cool name at all. So let's figure out something else. And we went through a bunch of names.
We did?
Through text messages. And none of them stuck.
I'd been sitting on Copper Chief for a long time because I wanted to use it as a pseudonym. Like, kind of like Shaky Graves. Like, it could be just me, or it could be a 12-person band. And so I'd been sitting on that one from a college notebook, like, that I'd been just like word association, trying to come up with cool sounding names.
But y'all, it was semi-operating. When I came on, it was definitely, should we be Copper Chief? We don't know, and we were trying it out. Y'all were trying it out, but it was definitely in use when I came on.
Yeah. Well,
and that was, what was that, September?
I think we all definitely
September,
it was the
October.
very end of summer. It was August. It was August of 2015.
August to September of 15, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's been Copper Chief since then.
So John joined, and by the end of the month, that last week of September, we were up in Stephenville at Boyd Street Studios with Ben Hussey and Josh Serrato.
Yeah.
And John had heard maybe half the songs on the album.
No, 4.
Oh, 3 of them.
Four of them.
4 of them that he had actually ever
so I get there,
played
they're like,
through.
surprise, here's
Here's a full-length album.
Yeah.
4 of the 15.
The question everybody out there is wondering right now is there somewhere I can go listen to these guys play music and not talk?
Yeah, we're much better at the music thing.
Have you have recorded something, right?
Yeah, we have a full-length album, our debut album. We're looking to release it here at the end of the summer season, which in Texas, for all we know, could be December.
Right.
So summer season loosely. A firm release date of soon, very soon.
Where'd you record?
Boyd Street Studios in Stephenville, Texas. I'm not sure if they're changing the name to...
It was Boyd Street Studios when it was in the trailer. Now it's Melody Mountain Ranch.
Yeah, Melody Mountain Ranch Studios. Josh Serrato and Ben Hussey. Those are the names to remember.
Knocked it out, too.
You'll be seeing those on a lot of big albums coming out soon.
Are you going to do the whole like radio game? Try to get it on like Texas radio?
We're gonna give it a run. I mean, we'll have to see if they'll cut out a niche for us because we've already carved ourselves one, and we'll see if they can fit it somewhere.
Are you going to go do y'all do your own booking, or do you have?
Yeah.
That's another thing we're real close to. We are just so close to doing or finishing a couple of things right now. Yeah. LLC.
Well, it's a whole set of mountains that you got to figure out which one's coming first.
We've been
how
lucky
to get there.
Yeah, I'm sorry to keep stepping all over.
No, man.
We were lucky enough to have some family members step up. Mike's parents, Justin's parents, Rio's parents, my parents. They've all been supportive. We've had some capital contribution that has allowed us to finally get our LLC off the ground, get
That's
our partnership
huge.
agreement ironed out. get around to merch. It's these things. It wasn't the lack of will. It was we just need some money to do it.
Right. Have you, from my experience, and I was just telling somebody about this yesterday.
Here we go.
we're gonna have
With
to
the
learn.
merchandise thing, one would think that what you do is you get a round of merchandise and you sell it, and you make more money selling the merch than you spent on it. So you have a profit of money that you can then turn around and buy more merchandise. That's kind of how just business in general is supposed to work. But from my experience, too much of mine had to go to paying car insurance and rent and bills.
Trailer.
All that,
and
hotel
inner
rooms.
rigs.
Lucky for us, I've been keeping a pretty tight watch on the actual profit from the merchandise.
Yeah, we have a built-in accountant. Get this, John.
right.
John has got his master's in accounting as of this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw the graduation stuff.
So,
Yeah,
We've got a secret weapon behind the drums.
Yeah, I'd just like to point out, though, my BA was from the University of Texas. So we have two Longhorns in the band.
Awesome.
The master's was from the A&M system. We're not going to talk
We
about
won't talk about that.
I am a dropout.
Hey, Gypsy Rio.
I'm glad
over
you
there.
dropped out so you could drop into my life.
So where are you playing? Like tonight, obviously you're at Floors and Helotes, but nobody that's listening to this will be able to go to that because this is not going to come out for another week or two. So do you have any idea, like any other big shows or anything coming up?
gigs of note?
Yeah. Or where can they go to find these things? Is there some kind of a website?
Hey,
or
we
something?
have one of those, yeah.
Yeah?
CopperChiefMusic.com.
How about that?
With a link to our merchandise. Click the store tab.
There you go.
Yeah, we got the schedule. We've got a 4-sentence biography, some photos, and also some mixes from the album. If you want to go get a little preview, there's a couple songs up, a couple videos. We should be up in Fort Worth at the Magnolia Motor Lounge coming up August 11th, I believe.
Ooh, yeah, I love that
It's
venue.
a great place.
Yeah.
The Fort Worth scene is really, really buzzing right now. We're happy to be a part of that movement going on.
So for now, which one of you does most of the booking? Do y'all put in?
That's mostly me.
Really?
No.
I think. I mean,
I was gonna just bite my tongue and see what happened out of
Everybody could
that.
have seen the confusion on my face when he said that. I was like,
credit where credit's due. Mike does a lot for this band in that regard. Rio does book a lot too. Justin comes up with some books, but I'll tell you this: I don't do shit. So sorry.
yeah.
But those guys.
Oh no, John
But
takes
somebody's
care of the
gotta crunch the
numbers and the
numbers, yeah,
merch and
for
the
sure.
money.
Well,
and
I got to go to 9 to 5 work. So.
oh yeah, John has a daywalker job.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Who? Let's see.
Here we go.
We'll just go with.
toast. You have
We'll go with Mike. What was your first instrument? When did you start playing?
Okay.
We'll get to some actual content here.
I got a good answer to this.
Well, I decided to start teaching myself how to play guitar when I was 18.
18.
Yeah, so
Started
10
on
years
guitar?
ago, almost 9 years ago.
Cool.
Wait, how old am I?
Hell,
What's kind of
Oh,
stuff were you
I don't
listening
even-
to? Like, what was the first full song you learned? Like that kind of thing.
Oh, it took me a month and a half to learn Times Like These by the Foo Fighters.
Nice.
All I wanted to be was Dave Grohl, and
would
then
play that.
everything I wrote came out kind of country sounding. So then found Red Dirt, Texas Country, that whole, hey, Americana, you can have your rock and your
Right.
country. And then I realized, music was viable for me,
Yeah.
But
sure.
yeah, so that, and I wasn't good. It took me a long time to get good. Like my mom's been playing in church since forever. My dad played in a band
Oh, that's
down
cool.
in like a little swamp pop rock band in Louisiana
John
when he
played
was
piano?
young. No, my dad played the drums. My mom plays guitar.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I mean, it was, and then I have a cousin, Shane Wimmer, he played in the Bodarks. Like they charted some Texas radio singles.
Oh, cool.
And so it was always there. I just never realized it. People were
Right.
like, "Oh, your family's so musical." And to me, looking back now, I guess hindsight's 20/20. I didn't think about
Right.
it that way though. I just was learning how to play guitar because I broke my back and couldn't play football. And
Ooh.
I struggled finding my way. I went a little more to the artistic side. Did a bunch of like the UIL events, storytelling, essentially,
cool.
like prose reading and stuff like that.
Oh,
When I
nice.
play, all that kind of stuff, drama. I was the artsy kid, I guess.
Now we're getting there. Now we're learning things.
Yeah.
I didn't know these things.
Then kind of guitar followed. My little brother had a guitar sitting in his closet that he'd gotten for Christmas years prior.
Cool.
Just never learned, and so that's where it went.
Very cool. Mr. Lusk, would you like to slide the microphone over there and tell us about your bass skills.
My exploits.
Yeah. So when did you
We don't
start?
have enough time for exploits.
Okay,
Justin Lusk.
Okay,
Justin Lusk, ladies and gentlemen.
4th grade, started singing in the choir. 5th grade, picked up trumpet, played that till 8th grade.
Trumpet.
Sang in the choir. First Baptist
Mama
Church,
number
I was the bass. Let's see. Okay, got to high school, got my first guitar at 13. Started in the jazz band my sophomore year, which was interesting. I really didn't know what I was playing, but it was fun. Started dating the drummer. Yeah, basically you can play whatever you want. It's jazz music.
What was his name?
Started dating the drummer for the jazz band. Not gonna name her name, but anyways, she taught me how to play the snare drum, taught me how to read percussion. So I joined their wind ensemble.
I didn't know any of this. This
Played
is
in the
awesome.
marching band. Let me breathe.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I played in the marching band too.
Trumpet was
Second chair
trumpet was the first,
Trumpet was the first.
and then all these other things.
Yeah,
This
still
is
played
great.
guitar in the jazz band, but did marching band as well. And the wind ensemble, did all the percussion stuff. Graduated high school, went to Tarleton State in Stephenville. Kept playing in the marching band and wind ensemble. For 3 years, I marched bass drum and then basically dropped out. Couldn't figure out what I wanted
What'd
to
you
do.
play in the wind ensemble?
In the wind? Oh, it was still percussion.
Oh, okay,
just
cool.
whatever.
Just with the okay, I got you.
Yeah. Went to South Plains after that, which was a blessing.
Which is a blessing.
Learned how to read more contemporary music. Learned had a guitar major, but wound up selling one of my guitars and getting a bass, a Mexican jazz bass from Guitar Center, called it the Banana. Got a gig like a week after that, and have not.
So is that was when
not
you
had a
started on
gig
bass?
since then, so yeah. So that was 2008. I started playing bass.
So you did all those other things. And you were like, well, shit. I guess I'll play bass. Like,
Might as well. Cut a couple strings off of it. It's a bass, anyways.
yeah, nice. So who?
But yeah, I like to think my guitar and my percussion background come together. And
Very cool. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, and all joking aside, people don't realize how important the bass guitar is.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody jokes about it and be like, oh, you know, whatever, bass is.
attest to that.
But the bass player is the glue. Is legitimately the glue that holds everything because it's the mixture between the drums and the guitar.
You're right. It's
everything
very
that helps.
percussive. It's the tie
Yeah.
between the string and the.
I like to feel the power in my hands.
All right, on down the line too. The
Oh,
percussion
now you got two notes.
drummist.
The drummist.
The drummist.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
That's an Alabama learning.
so yeah, a lot like Justin. I started in middle school, 4th and 5th grade. Was taught classically. I didn't start playing drum set until the 7th grade, and I really had no aspirations to do it until we saw That Thing You Do.
Oh yes.
I am not ashamed to say it. I wanted to go out and learn drum set after
Boom,
that.
ba, ba, boom, ba, boom, boom,
Yeah.
ba, ba, boom, ba, boom, 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 ba, ba.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Yes.
So that was it. It's
The Oneaters. That's on Oneaters.
I have a
love you
buddy in
guys.
Austin, Aaron, would really appreciate this right now.
So that movie did it for you, huh?
Yeah, man, I really had no desire to do it until then. It probably wasn't for that movie, I would not have played drum set, and I don't know, but you know,
I
so
think I have to go watch that movie now.
so the first song that I ever played all the way through was in 7th grade jazz band. It was A Hard Day's Night.
That Thing You Do, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen that movie,
Yeah.
go see it.
It's great.
Sorry. I have a mouthful of chips right now. Sorry.
Yeah, so I did that, and by 8th grade, you know, it was kind of one of those things where I just like, you know, I jumped into it, and I really wasn't that invested in band at that time, but I really fought to be a drummer when they did the auditions. They wanted me to do trombone. I guess I missed the drummer auditions, but my mom went in there and tore him a new one and said, look, he's going to play drums. So, Mom,
Nice.
thank you very much. You know, and she always let me bang on the pans, too.
Yeah.
Back at home, but yeah, so I really, once you got into it, once you like get that fire for it, that's when you just start to soak it up.
Oh yeah.
By the by 8th grade, you know, I was like, it was really snowballing, and they had a guy drop out of the high school jazz band. They said, you know, you want to come sit in? So I actually played in the high school jazz band for 5 years. Was an all-state timpanist, in the state of Nebraska.
yeah.
They let you do it. My sophomore year was actually the first year sophomores could do it.
They love Tiffany.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
In Nebraska. That's where I did a 12-year stint.
That's right. Yeah.
So the first
No
year...
wonder you got so good. There's nothing else to do.
Exactly.
You're-
I literally
you're in
could throw
Nebraska.
a baseball from the door of my high school into a cornfield. Anyways, yeah. So my sophomore year was the first year sophomores could audition. I made all-state timpanist for the orchestra. Next year, I was for the wind ensemble and jazz band alternate. And senior year, got that.
Rio stroking the back
And then,
of John's head.
senior year, all-state timpanist. I marched, of course. I played the same thing Justin did. Called them tenors. We only
Nice.
had 4, and I did for 2 weeks at the University of Texas. I marched tenors. And college, well, I was originally studying chemical engineering,
Ooh.
and I decided this ain't gonna work because that was a lot of commitment. So
Yeah, engineering's a lot to do by itself.
no, 2.5 years of that, and eventually said nope. Music
Yeah.
first semester. Switched over to
Were you
Drinking
playing
beer for the rest of
Oh,
Were you
yeah,
playing in
drinking.
bands through any of this?
Yeah, that really started to pick up about the time I transferred over to music, which I ended up getting a minor in music.
Okay, cool.
Ended up with a BA in anthropology. But yeah, about that time is when I started playing downtown with Trey Stapleton, if you're listening, buddy. Yeah, just from there, started doing the honky-tonk thing, red dirt stuff. I played in a basketball band, so we did between big band in high school and basketball band for UT.
Oh, for the basketball
Yeah,
games.
I was exposed to a lot of charts and music, and listened to a lot of music.
Are you
So
thinking a band that plays basketball while they
Yes, I didn't know what I was thinking, but I did
Man,
not.
that'd be
I wasn't
horrible.
thinking.
No, they're a
about-
band that plays basketballs.
Yeah.
You inflate them to different levels.
Yikes.
Derailed.
getting
You
deep.
have derailed, Tommy. Boo. So
Continue the joke.
Very
yeah,
cool.
anyways, so that I got a robust background.
But you kept doing the school thing. Changed
man.
majors, but
Got out
Yeah.
6 years. Took a couple of victory laps.
well,
So yeah, I really have to say, if any kids are listening, that probably the most important thing you could do as a musician is classically trained. No, be classically trained. Get the well-rounded, especially for drummers.
learn the theory and stuff.
Well, yeah,
behind
that and
I
the
would
fact
agree.
that you were so engrossed in several different styles. Like you can do a samba, you learn a rock, beat, jazz. A lot of those are the foundation of being able to just go and
That's
play.
cool. Yeah.
Because if you learn some of those rudimentary beats, you can just expand
Well, that's
upon that.
where, and that's where anything that's going on in the last 50 years came from.
Oh yeah, man,
All those other beats.
absolutely. And
Fundamentals.
fundamentals, you got it. But like when you think of these guys, like Rio can just go nuts on a guitar. That dude
Yeah.
has somewhat of a classical background. Started with piano,
Yeah.
without those directors, Paul Koenig, Dave
Yeah.
Steckenberg, Jules Banks. I'm sure they'll never hear any of this, but I mean, those are the guys that helped me understand, the foundations of music, and really, to go sit in. The first time I was with Mike, I wouldn't have been able
Yeah.
to do that if I wasn't exposed to the many genres, the many different styles. I wouldn't have been able to ad lib. I mean, I firmly believe if you pave the foundation,
Yeah.
musically speaking, that allows you to do these things that we're doing now.
The sky's your limit.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, go watch That Thing You Do.
Exactly. I mean, if I had to,
All of the above.
pin it down to one thing, future wannabe drum set players, gotta go watch That Thing You Do.
Yeah. Number one,
Tom Hanks,
watch
thank you.
That Thing You Do. Number two, build your foundation.
Step 3, collect socks. Step 4, profit.
Oh, Rio.
Here we
Trippy,
go.
I know.
Holy-
All right.
First musical instrument, when, and why? I'm going to ask you why.
I started playing piano when I was 5. My mama got me piano lessons from a lady at church. Her name was Miss Wentz, and started taking them and started doing really, really well.
So did you I guess you enjoyed it.
I loved it. Like you see a lot of shows on TV and stuff. It's like, you need to practice. You need to do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
My parents used to be like, hey, can you stop for just a
Really?
little bit? Like, we're trying to watch TV.
Man, I started on piano and I hated practicing.
Well, I think it was the best way. First of all, like John said, if there's any kids out there listening, piano is the best way to start, like in my opinion, because you've got every note
agree.
from the bottom to the top right in front of you in order, like in a line.
Dude,
Yeah.
teaches all.
Hey, did you have your turn with the mic? Are you done?
Yeah, but
Okay.
sometimes I have to turn with the mic, you lean in and get me all hot and bothered.
Well, that's because I'm hot. I'm very warm right now.
Rio has the position on the microphone right now. He's blocking it off from John.
Hey, Rio! I'm still over here.
Y'all can't hear John because I have my hand up. So I started playing piano when I was 5. Had lessons and everything, and I got really good really quick. That was about it to it. I wrote my first song when I was 10. I wrote it for my 3rd grade teacher, and we played it for her at my 5th grade talent show.
Was she hot?
No, but she was. Okay. I loved her. Her name was Miss Barnett. Her favorite thing was Coke and pink Starburst.
Do you still know it?
Yeah.
I want to hear it right now.
I'll do it on piano.
He does have a piano.
We'll get him to play it afterward.
Yes.
It's not bad, especially for a 3rd grade kid.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so
And then
moving on.
so I did that. Then somewhere around 8th grade or so. No, it was 6th grade. Yeah, somewhere around 6th grade. Changed piano teachers because I realized they realized one day that I couldn't read the music. They were like, they put a piece of music in front of me. They were like, here, play this. I was like, I can't. They were like, what do you mean you can't? And I was like, I've kind of been watching and just listening the whole time and just doing it.
Playing by ear.
Yeah.
Kind of thing? Yeah.
Like, and they were like, oh, well, maybe we'll try a different piano teacher. So I went to a different one for a little while, and I was like, I think I got it. I think I'll be okay. I want to try something else anyways. And I was coming up, 6th grade, getting into
Did you do recitals? Piano recitals?
Oh, yeah. I played Furley's just like every other kid. But I also played a bunch of songs that I wrote like, for my recitals and stuff, which the older people loved.
So you gave up the lessons?
Yeah, well, I gave up the lessons because it was, around 6th grade. It was like, I think I got a firm handle on this. I want to try something else. And I was getting into, 6th grade and stuff. Puberty started to hit. So I was like, chicks dig guitar. Let me try guitar. So I saved up my money, and I bought a Squire Strat Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, man, screw girls. Guitar's awesome. So I did that. And then, of course, afterwards, like, oh, yeah, girls too. But, I love this guitar. So all I had was a chord sheet on the wall, just telling what the chords were, and I just taught myself how to play.
Did you teach yourself, like, solo licks and stuff? Did you figure that out?
I just kind of figured it out, and then I also had DVDs, not like instructional DVDs, but like concert DVDs of Hendrix, Pink Floyd, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Just watching them.
Kind of see how they hold their hand and just kind of pick up from there. But yeah, it was the same with guitar like it was with piano. Like I said, my parents would be like, hey, can you please like go in your room if you're going to play right now? Because I'd be sitting there. I didn't have an acoustic for the longest time.
Yeah.
I'd stay plugged into like the amp in the other room, and we'd be sitting there in the living room watching TV, and I'm just clang, clang, clang. It's like, son, we love you, and we're glad that you really enjoy this, and you're actually quite good at it. Go in the other room, please.
I used to sit there. I had a Squire Strat, the white one,
black with the white pickguard.
But I used to sit there, unplugged, so not plugged into the amp or anything. But the whole family would be in the living room watching TV, and I'd be sitting on the couch over there, just playing, and my sister would get pissed at me and be like, "What? Stop! I'm trying to watch TV." I'm like, "You can't. It's not plugged in. You can't hear it."
Oh yeah.
Yes, you can.
Well, and because the thing is, it's so easy for us. Like it's like I'm not thinking about it. It's just because people used to ask me like, "How'd you learn how to play? How'd you get so good? How'd you teach yourself?" It's like it's just always the best way to play is just always have it in your hand.
Just do it all the time.
So I did all that for the longest time in high school. I guess you could say. Well, the first bands I was ever in was church bands. I grew up in the church, youth praise band. Then I was the really good younger person at my church, so they let me play with the grown up band too. Did all that, but the first band. But I was ornery too, man. I'd like whenever we'd get done with practice, they'd go in the other room and eat pizza, and I'd be playing AC/DC in the sanctuary, and people were like, "Oh my god!" I guess those are my first bands, but the first band, I guess you could ever say, I put a band together my senior year for the talent show. We called ourselves the Missing Link. And we played one song, and it was Freebird, and I played it behind my head, and we won that motherfucker.
Oh, wow.
Then I was, what did I do after that? I had my own band for a long time. I lived in College Station for a little bit after high school, because that's where all my friends were going. And made it 1 year, passed one class each semester, didn't really do much at all. And then learned how to smoke weed and play guitar mostly.
Here's where we cut out another drug reference.
Yeah. But she knows. they totally know. Yeah. So I did that, and then I started my own band. It was called Rio Tripiano. It was awesome, and that's about the same time I met these boys back in East Bernard, and we were in a band called, it was a adult country cover band. Like, I was the youngest person in this band by
Yeah.
far at 20 years old. It was me, a guy named Matt, who's about 21, and everybody else was at least 50.
Yeah.
We're called Legacy.
Legacy. Yeah, you
We were
were.
covering like John Conley songs and all sorts of stuff like that.
That ain't bad.
It wasn't bad. I had a lot of fun, and then that quickly turned into a band called Break Even, which turned
Probably
into the
learned a lot
Washers.
also from them old guys that have been around.
Oh, I did.
that,
They were
so.
cool as shit, man.
Winding down here, Rio, we're going to go back this way. Okay. Rio, if you could give yourself at 18-ish year old Rio a piece of advice, what would it be? Into the microphone.
Just keep going.
Keep going? Okay. John? Same question, sir.
Oh, man. I'm going to defer to Justin for a second.
What, you going to think about it?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Mr. Lusk? Luscious Lusk?
There's no reason to hurry. You can wait. Take your time.
See, the pausing there makes it even better.
Take your time. Good things will come to you.
There you go. All right.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Ah, there it is.
Back to John.
Are you ready, John?
John,
Yeah.
you're really sweating this out. Or is that just the air conditioner being off?
This is important.
It
you know?
is an important thing.
I
Do you
mean,
want,
I'm
you want
sure-
Mike to go?
Financial
Yeah, maybe.
responsibility.
And then I feel like we're going to let everybody down here because it's not going to be monumental. Like
That's all right. I mean, if it's not, there's no bad answer here.
I wish at that age I would have realized what music would become to me and like to treat it as a viable thing to do with your life. Because I struggled so hard
That's not the question.
I'm saying that the advice
getting there.
here
Yeah.
is I struggled with the idea that music could be my life. I thought it had to be a side dish.
Yeah.
And going through the undergraduate system and everything showed me that I woke up every day and this was the constant. So to not keep denying yourself what you know you're called to do.
Yeah.
Listen to your heart.
Your passion.
yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. At the risk of sounding corny, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like
that's all I got to say about
Yeah.
that. Really,
I love it. Yeah. That's what this is all about here.
don't let anybody tell you what should be important to you or how you should live.
Bingo.
Yeah, man, I hate to cop out and say just what Mike said, but no, it is.
That's all right.
Music has given me all the good, the best, most awesome things in my life. It's how I've met the girl that I'm with now.
Yeah.
It's how I met these three guys. I played with some other great dudes, and it brings me the joy. Oh, Jacob, I mean, come on. That goes without saying. But I could go back and tell John I'm rambling.
Yeah.
I would
That's
say,
all good.
shut up. Don't talk so long on the mic. Just tell him, hey, man, it's going to work out. Just stick in there. Love the music. Don't ever second guess it. Things would have been
Very cool.
probably a lot easier for
Well, fellas, thanks so much for talking. I'm gonna go turn the air conditioning back on.
Hot. Oh, yeah.
We're gonna jam on a little song for just a second and then get y'all down the road.
CopperChiefMusic.com.
Copper Chief, CopperChiefMusic.com. People check it out.
Hashtag
News-
us at Hail to the Chief.
Hail to the
Hashtag
chief.
Hail to the Chief.
Right on.
We'll see you on down the road.
CD coming out soon. Thank you so much, guys.
Hey, thanks for having us, brother.
Well, you made it through. Congratulations. Now, I promise I'm not going to normally have that many guests on for a podcast episode, but I love those guys. They're like my brothers, and I figured we'd record a conversation and see what you thought about it. Now, after the show later that night, the guys, we all came back to my grandma's house, sat around, had a late night jam session, swapping songs and instruments and hanging out. So while I'm talking to you, I'll just have that going in the background, and there'll be a little bit more after I get done talking. Once again, thank you to the guys in Copper Chief, John, Rio, Mike, Justin, for coming by and hanging. And by the way, my grandma was out of town, and she knew and they knew that we were doing this. So it's no secret. It's not, she was gone. I cleaned up. We were responsible gentlemen about everything. Make sure you go check out CopperChiefMusic.com. Be on the lookout for their upcoming debut album, due out later this year. And thank you so much for sticking around and for listening. If you have any questions or feedback, you can send that to Jacob at don'tstifleme.com or to the social medias. The podcasts are at DSM Podcast. Mine are at Jacob Stiefel. For more on Copper Chief or this episode, you can find that at don'tstifleme.com/020. And that was episode 20. 20 episodes. Man, that's crazy. I'm still loving this, still having just as much fun as when I started back in March. I hope you're all enjoying it as well. If you are, please feel free to share, comment, review, tell your friends about it. Tell your mom and dad, explain to them how to subscribe, because, you know, there's all kinds of people who don't even know anything about podcasts. But regardless of anything, what the news tells you or what anybody tells you, it's a beautiful time to be alive right now and breathing oxygen on this world. So take a big, deep breath, go drink some water, tell somebody you love them, have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you again soon.
Grew up in Houston on the Wayside Drive. Son of a car hop and an all-night dive.
Atros up.
I drove covered to an early death. All I remember was the dog man's breath. They live it on like this. That's what he said. Ain't living on like this, yeah, my baby. They tell a story about the wheel goes round. They're gonna take you to the man downtown. They got them all in the jailhouse, baby. I ain't living long like this. Ain't living long like this, yeah, my baby. Stifle. I remember the rest.
I swear there was another verse, but who knows?
Yeah, there might have been. You know, hey, who knows?
After a period of piano study with his father, Hildebrando entered the Parma Conservatory in his 16th year. He was a brilliant student, and even then began writing ambitious works.
And then was caught masturbating.
Upon masturbating, Pizzetti entered upon a teaching career. For many years, he was the professor of theory and composition at the Florence Conservatory. In 1921, he became director of the Milan Conservatory.
Join us in the Lord's chorus. Well, I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Said I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Said when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
I didn't take my socks off yet.